AM 560, The Answer.
Harris! It's going to be his nickname for now, Squirrel, until I can come up with a better one. Got a new trainee on the board. We're going to go with Harris. Best show on TV. That's when they had the Twin Towers. Every time it opened up. Greg and LaGrange.
Hey, Shaun, how you doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
Good. Jobs number.
Yeah.
I think that jobs number is kind of misleading because there's a lot of jobs that were added in healthcare, but they weren't doctors and nurses. A lot of overhead being introduced into the healthcare system still.
Well,
it's one thing we need to look at.
Well, right, and if you throw it up against the people fired from the government, you're talking huge revisions, right? I mean, you got to remember, you and I talked about it when the Dimwit and Diapers was in office. In 1 month, he added 880,000 supposed jobs, which is a mathematical impossibility, right? So Trump comes in and he fires everybody that he wants. It really couldn't even fire who he wanted to. It would be even worse. So the revision that they have includes the government jobs, which is actually a big plus because, as you know, one government employee probably takes 100 private sector employees, if not more. So there's a lot of moving parts, and you're right about health care, but that's also because all the nurses on strike in New York and California, all these mafia unions all went on strike. So I hope they hired them because they're firing and breaking the lines of the unions.
I'm just hoping that we get some positive job numbers because I know last year with the revisions, like you were talking about, there was a huge revision down. But that's fine. I mean, if we make progress, we have to show progress at the midterms. That's my concern.
Well,
we're close to losing our advantage here.
Well, I don't know if it is an advantage. You know, I was going to start with Collins, Murkowski, Thune, and McConnell. These are 4 senators that are holding up the SAVAC, right? So this illusion that we're on a team and there's an advantage, you know how I feel about it, right? It's about character of the individual, right? And these people, you bow for everything, and that's what they are. They stand for nothing. That's our problem.
That's why
right?
That's why I think at this point the filibuster. I think you got to do what you can right now.
Oh, absolutely. How about this Murkowski? Do you realize the scandal that she is? Her father embroiled in scandal. He becomes governor and appoints her. She was given the job. Not only that, at the same time, there was an investigation into that Verico. Remember the oil? And his chief of staff took the fall for $68,000. Jim Clark, I will never forget his name. Jim Clark, Murkowski's chief of staff, fell on the dagger for $68,000. That piece of garbage sold out Alaska, and his dingbat daughter is still in the position. That's the problem with people. They don't read it. They don't look at it. They believe anything. Look at Chicago, $140 million. What was it? $1 billion? $141 billion? I can't remember. Here, let me hit this. Hold on.
Chicago City Council recently passed a budget that closed a $1 billion gap without the mayor's support.
Yeah, but a new study out today says that deficit is actually way bigger than that. Political reporter Paris Schutz is here. He's been looking into this. How much bigger are we talking, Paris?
All right, this is a group called Truth in Accounting. They put this study out this morning. $41 billion is what they're saying.
Let's say what?
$41 billion. $41 billion. And they're going to elect every moron Democrat, every Ramirez, every step-and-fetch socialist communist pig. That's the problem. People are morons. There's no IQ test. You want to really shake things up? Forget your ID. How about you have an IQ over 59? We're going to make you at least one better than the Somalians. Boy, it's aggravating. Rich, Indian Head Park.
Hey, Shaun, how are you today?
Wonderful. Surrounded by morons when I go to Chicago. I could see them in their car picking their nose, fat slob Democrats. Turn right on red, stupid, in your Prius. Go ahead.
Why are the Republicans even on the ballot for the Senate seats when they know that the Democrats are never going to give that up? They're going to do whatever they can to hang on to it, by hook or by crook. That's the way I see it.
But listen, you know what an insult it is, this simpleton fraud from Kentucky, Mitch McConnell, who was a thief, married to the Chinese dingbat shipping heiress. Yep. He was a fraud from soup to nuts. His name's on every building. Take a look at this scumbag. He couldn't talk 8 months ago. Freeze frame. Soiling himself on camera. Now he's in the hospital. He's against it. He doesn't know if it's Tuesday or fracking July. He's a Republican, though. It's very annoying, right? Because I'm not part of a team. I don't know, and I know you're not. And I know the reason you went and you were willing to train kids to go fight these communists was not so they could hold positions of power in our government. Was it?
Nope.
All right. Thank you very much. George, Naperville.
Shaun, when someone is taking Pritzker's picture
is there room for another person?
Yeah, but you got to put those nose plugs in because at that certain level with the creases, he's giving off all kinds of stank. Oh, it's that beef and cheese, a little bit of a urinal cake. He gives it off, and then you put up with it because if you got 4 warrants, you need a little clout to get out.
Controversy brewing tonight after a report that Governor Pritzker's administration scrubbed a photo from a state website. Political reporter Paris Schutz is here to...
Now, but I want to talk, though, about the money that Trump shut off, and thank God he did. Shut it all off. Wait till you hear how this scam actually operates.
Let me explain the Medicaid provider tax because that $6.1 billion cut is the biggest number and the mechanism matters. Illinois taxes hospitals, nursing homes, and managed care organizations. Those providers pay the tax. Illinois uses that state money to claim federal matching dollars. Then Illinois often pays much of the original tax money back to providers through higher Medicaid reimbursement rates.
You paying attention, Squirrel? That's where the scam is. That's why all the providers donate to the Democrats. They lay out the taxes, then they get it back. You all is a couple of bookies. Give me Epstein. Talk about fractional banking again.
It's a loop. Providers pay tax. State claims federal match. State pays providers back through reimbursements. Everyone comes out ahead because federal matching dollars flow in.
Nobody comes out ahead because they steal the money in Democrat fiefdoms. That's why they're all bankrupt.